You know, the responsible thing would be to try a sample. To make sure it's safe, of course. I thought you'd never ask. Poor decisions and questionable substances with crewmates. Ah, this takes me back. Reminds me of the time I tried to buy coral snuff in Deadfire. Pretty sure it was sawdust.
I think we've been duped. Rather disappointing. Drug dealers are usually so reliable. You learned a valuable lesson. That's something.
Why do you cloud your eyes? Could we not have shown you these things?
What matters is we tried it together.
It's better out here than it is in the wild.
The attack seems to be over. Everyone okay?
I think I saw my uncle out there. He left a few weeks ago on a trade caravan.
No, that don't mean nothing. Could be someone else. Don't... Don't give up hope.
I saw his face through a crack in the gates. It's him! I want it to be him.
Love, look, it's her.
You can go check if you like.
Envoy, it's so good to see you alive and well. Peaceful. Like when we first made our way to Paradise so many years ago. We've settled in nicely and are starting to feel at home here.
Peaceful's an interesting word to use, love. The dream thralls are exceedingly aggressive out here.
Yes, well, the guards have been handling them just fine. I'll take it for now. How about you, Envoy? How have the living lands been treating you?
Finally! Someone that sees the beauty that this place holds.
Just don't ignore the danger. Speaking of, we have something that might be of use to you. Whoever lived here last must have left this armor behind. As beautiful as it is, Gladwine and I have no need of it. We'd like for you to have it.
I know, thank you, Envoy, for everything.
Be safe out there, friend.
Envoy? You get around, don't you?
Godlike!
Winds above! You're really here! I knew I had to find you as soon as I heard you were in Thirdborn.
Chico? When did you get so tall? I almost didn't recognize you.
Kai! You're here too? Now I know Thirdborn is in good hands. We've got to do something about the Dream Scourge. It's worse every day. One of our neighbors wasn't himself, and we can't afford to lose anyone. We need people who will fight back. People like Kai, and my uncle Capo.
Me? You don't know what you're saying. Believe me. But Capo, he's the real deal. That old salt's a monster slayer.
That Leviathan hanging over the market? That was his work. Exactly! Uncle Capo's the greatest warrior Thirdborn's ever seen. But, well, Thirdborn hasn't seen the Capo I know in a long time. I've tried everything to convince him to get out of the house. He may be old now, but we can still use his experience. If Thirdborn could see him up on those walls, they'd all follow him. I hate to impose, but would you pay him a visit? He lives on the northeast side of town. He's tired of hearing from me. Maybe one hero to another, you know?
Isn't this a surprise? Oh, hello there. I thought our paths might cross again.
Quilici, there you are.
Ah, my dear Giata. I never thought I'd see us both exiled from Fior Messiverno. Yet here we are. As you can see, the good people of Thirdborn have welcomed us with open arms. Remarkable under the circumstances. The Dream Scourge has struck this place with violence, bloodshed, death. Not as combatants, perhaps, but as researchers. Though our work is slow, it shows promise. Now that we're under Thirdborn's protection, my animancers can get back to work. We've made a few improvements to the local fishing gear, tinkered on harpoons and the like. You might not believe it, but some of our farming equipment is back to working order. I know we can. Patience, dedication, and hope are the bedrock of animancy. Though it is difficult to farm when one is under attack, The sheer numbers of infected makes our work perilous.
Do you need any help?
We have everything under control, and your work is too important to squander on agriculture. One more thing before we're parted again. We've made a tidy profit of our labor, and the others gathered a little something for you. Don't spend it all at once. Thank you, but I know how to handle my coin. I left the Republic a wealthy man.
You never told me that.
My dear, how do you think we built Fior Messiverno? The fortune is gone, and I don't miss it. Go on, then. Surely you have better places to be. No doubt the Adiran envoy has a message to deliver, or a foreboding parcel of some kind.
He's doing well. Better than well. And to think I've been worried sick.
Something, get over here and talk to me.
What's taking you so long? Oh, let me guess. My Nikai sent you. That kid's been muttering about sending some new hero by.
Old man Capo. Glad to see you're still kicking around.
Kai, what rock have you been hiding under? Those scales are looking rougher since I last saw you.
Your eyesight finally going? But we didn't come here to talk about my handsome mug. That Nikai of yours still getting underfoot, I take it?
Ah, like a cannonball on a rolling deck, that kid. Damn child won't stop hovering over me. They keep trying to send so-called heroes over to cheer me up, but there's not much point these days. Back when Thirdborn was no more than a husk on the cliffside, we had real heroes. I've slain 1,000 Zorops, wrestled rock beetles, even slew the Leviathan. People these days, young and impudent. I've done more than most in this town, designing the scaffolding to ward off those plagued bastards to start. Ah well, I'm a sick old man now. Even that took its toll. Still, maybe Chico was onto something when they sent you. You're the one who cleared the dream thralls at the gates, aren't you? Good to know someone is looking out for Thirdborn at least. I tell you what, this old man would like to ask a boon of you. One hero to another. I promise it'll be worth your while. I want to see my heart one last time. Will you get it for me? I'm impressed. Did you like my designs? I've been decorating that old ruin with traps for would-be thieves for years.
Easy to say when we aren't running for our lives.
Huh. Well, you managed well enough. Now, the heart. Thank you. You've made an old man very happy in his last days. Here, take this. You have more use for it than I do now. This damned sickness is getting worse.
You are welcome under our roof anytime, envoy.
needs fabric? We still have stock. If you need material for bandages, I have some. I'll even give you a good price. Wish I could give it out for free, but I still have to eat. Needs fabric. We still have some stock. Who needs fabric? Up.
Hey, Envoy? Got a second? I could really use a favor. I've got to take a piss. Real bad. Do you think you could stand at my post while I go? Oh, God bless you, Envoy. I'll be quick. I promise.
Even Almala don't have ladders that big. In my day, we kept an empty bottle on hand.
Well, that was unsatisfying, but thank you, Envoy, for watching my post. I know it's not much, but I wanted to show my appreciation. Here.
Be nice if we had guns like that. I wouldn't be so fucking terrified of the dream thralls otherwise.
Guns like that? On our wages? Come on, be serious.
Maybe I should take up adventuring. Sell 1 or 2 fancy pots from those old ruins and I'd have enough, huh?
You want to get yourself killed? Go ahead.
Well, well, if it isn't the one who finally cleared out the mines. Glad to see you. And you'll be glad to hear I can bring the prices down, too. Ismalt's meteoric apparatus. She's a beauty, isn't she? A traveler sold it to me ages ago. Poor bastard went up against something big out in the highlands, limped back to town, and died a few days later. Needed the money to ship his body home. I hated to take it from him. Still, Adra inlay, brass filigree, whew. She could use a strong hand. You interested? If the stories I hear are anything to go by, like a kick in the teeth. Let me know if you need something. Best weapons this side of Abidan's forge. I'll be damned. Never thought I'd see star metal in my lifetime. Short answer, no. Long answer, still no. But the Forge Master in Solace Keep is probably your best bet if you're looking for someone who does.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure? No one can swing a hammer like you.
If you knew how rare this stuff is, you wouldn't ask me to risk it.
Oh, maybe I should hire a bard. Better than off-key shanties all day.
Another day, another drunkard.
Damn.
If you're going out to the Highlands, watch your back. They're dangerous. Welcome to the Dead Swordfish. I wondered when I'd see you around here. What can I do for you? That's an understatement. You want to hawk wares, you come to Thirdborn. Legitimate, or, well, you know. Nothing like Paradise, of course. But people here are a little more forgiving than the Adirans. Oh, no offense. Never thought an Adiran would opt out of proselytizing to me. Actually, I've been waiting for a few barrels of mead to come through. My supplier, Falkeen, has been sitting on it. Some Adiran oomph should change his mind. I'd be happy to reward you if you don't mind talking to him. Now, did you want something, or are you just here to see me?
My dear envoy, just the sight of you recalls fond memories of more civilized days. Oh, it's nothing so grand as your capital city and its glittering port. Even this outpost's lighthouse, fair though she is, would reach only the knee of Wodaka's statue in High Crown.
He's practically an Adiran citizen.
How I miss the sight of your strapping tall-grass pikemen on parade. Now that was dignity. That was pomp. Nothing like dour Rawasai. Ugh, my maundering. Forgive me, envoy. This land takes its toll on my mind and spirit both. I am Nagunu, beleaguered captain of an incorrigibly roustabout crew. Dear Taue, Koa, Ranga. They saw Adir with me, you know, then abandoned me here. Oh, I miss them terribly.
Nostalgia and alcohol are a dangerous mixture.
I am drunk on memory only, and perhaps some regret. I only wish I could invite my crew to my table, to share one last drink and part as friends. Those are old wounds, envoy. Old wounds. Better not to reopen them. Not unless you want to see me weep. You would do that? Venture out into the wastes to look for them? I knew the moment I saw you, you were a paragon of your people. If anyone could convince Taue, Koa, and Ranga to share one last drink with me, it's you. Just to the northeast, living by an oasis in the Sand Sea. No fence, no walls, no roof, exposed to the world. But that's our Taue. Nothing ever troubled him that the stars couldn't fix. Deathly serious, Koa was, about every little thing. Fled to the shark's teeth with a few others when the plague came. He always had a fragile soul. She's a scholar of munitions, happier in the hold with gunpowder than out beneath the sky. I expect she's still holed up in the mine outside of town, polishing her arms. Of course,
You have been more than generous with your time as it is. Oathbinder guide you in the Emperor's work, Envoy, and in all your labors to come.
A lot of crews drift apart. Not many come together again.
Don't tell me you're out of linen. We need to make bandages. I don't know what you expect me to do. I can't just make more linen out of thin air.
We got things for you to kill.
What am I supposed to do? Do you want everyone to bleed out? Does it...
It even matter? There are always more injured.
Ah, hello, stranger. Welcome to Thirdborn. How can the Tiranui help? We just keep the peace in and around town.
You used to break up tavern brawls and heated quarrels. Now you're, what, supervising everyone who's guarding the walls?
We're just a bit overwhelmed right now. Apparently, some here think I'm not doing enough. I'd like to see them try. Wait, was it an elf and their two strange friends?
You sound like you've heard this before.
Gods know the twins always seem to be involved in the dumbest shit. What did you even get from them? In case they don't teach you this in your hometown, you shouldn't ingest weird substances strange kith give you. You have to just say no, alright? I wish this was the dumbest thing these two have done. Because they are. How else am I supposed to talk about them?
I almost forgot you three grew up together. Almost.
Didn't you know? The twins are my brothers. Though I guess I can see the confusion. I do take more after my mother. I'll have to have a talk with them, especially now that Aiko and his friends won't be allowed back in town. I suppose it was only a matter of time before his stupidity caught up with him. Well, seems like I have to thank you for letting me know. I'll just add it to my to-do list. Here, we hand these out to the kids from time to time. Makes them feel good about helping. I'll take the drugs from here. So again, thank you so very much for helping the community. Have a nice day. Oh, you're back. What do you want? Really? Which one? One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. Oh, wait. That's everything off the board, isn't it? Good job. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go pass out.
Minowa, thank goodness I found you. I must share this with you.
You shouldn't have.
No, this is important. Stay a moment. Let me speak. Minowa, how thy waves do break upon my haggard shore. The horizon of thy smile filleth me to the gunwales.
Honestly, Umato.
In the fleet of love, thou art the admiral. Thy seagull cry pierceth my heart. Together, we sail smoothly as the stars guideth our way.
You're so... creative.
Oh, you hesitate. Have I offended you somehow? Do you doubt my regard for you?
Well, you did compare me to a seagull.
Welcome back. How can I help?
Hungry? I might be able to help. The attack sounded terrible. I could hear the fight from in here. It's getting harder and harder to pretend everything's all right. That's what they say. But every day they're trying to find fresh recruits to make up for their losses. Anyway, can I get you anything? Need your energy up in this day and age. Hungry? I might be able to help.
Why do you spend so much on glaze, Merrick? Your pots look fine.
They're urns for ashes. Supposed to look dignified on a shelf.
Why does it matter? They're dead. Seems like a waste of coin to me.
Yeah, I'm not taking advice from someone who makes bowls to shit in.
What? Can't you see I'm busy? God, yes, I know that. She's been hounding me about it for a week now. I've had my hands full with other shipments. Cinzia is not the only client I have to answer to. Are you threatening me? Gods, Thirdborn really has gone to shit. Fine. Tell Cinzia I'll have a shipment over to her by sundown. Gods preserve me.
Oh, gods, and Adiran, what is it this time?
Don't worry, darling. The official Adiran envoy is here at my request.
What I want to know is why she's in the company of one of our own.
I meant to stop by, but I guess time got away from me.
I'll deal with you later. We have unfinished business. But your friend has some explaining to do. Why have you come to Thirdborn? After what your people did in Emerald Stair, I can't imagine you carry an edict of friendship with you. No, Adir just supports her. In arms, politics, and kith.
I know you're upset, Timothy, but don't take it out on us. I'm furious too, darling. That monster stole my research, and who knows what she plans for it. But you know, if this Adiran was untrustworthy, I'd kill her myself.
I apologize, Envoy. Eagle's Reach is a slaughterhouse. Dreamthralls siege our gates day and night. People are hungry, and I have not slept in days. So my temper is a powder keg, I'm afraid. I am trying not to explode. This isn't a courtesy visit, is it? I assume you're here delivering a message on behalf of Adir.
But Ludwig and her goons stole all my research on the Godless back in... She's up to something, and it can't be good.
What do you mean? Andra's depths. If I could help you, I would. The fact of the matter is, I'm in over my head already. I can't even protect the ruins myself. The Archmage Ringrim has warped the very reality of Shatterscarp. Let's just say there's a magical barrier around the ruins now. No one's getting in or out without Ringgrim's say-so.
Ringgrim? As in from the Circle of Archmagi? She's here?
The very one. I feared you'd be excited. Her presence isn't a good thing, Yatsley. She flew into the Shark's Teeth a few weeks ago, and now that area is an impenetrable wasteland of ice. I heard there's an Adiran who had his mind utterly broken by her. He's still lost out there as far as I know.
Think she's trying to stop the Dream Scourge too?
But why Nakukubel specifically? The ruins have stood for centuries, and there are plenty of other places to look at dream thralls. The Circle of Archmagi don't get involved unless there's something they can gain. They're not really known for their altruism. Look at the Siege of Craghold. And that was just so that Lengrath could try and show up Consulhot.
The truth is, I'm up to my neck in catastrophes. Between the horde of dream thralls pounding on our gates and trying to keep peace with Adir, I've had to station guards on our borders to control who goes in and out, just to keep everyone safe. I never thought I'd say this, but the Archmage is the least of my concerns. So, Ludwig wants the ruins, but even if I wanted to give them over, Ringrim controls them. And good luck getting an audience with an Archmage. I didn't know they made adherents with such bravery. You never know what marvels you live to see. You're likely gonna die a very horrible death, but I pray Galawain will at least make it fast.
If she doesn't want to be found, that's all the more reason for us to go looking.
When an Archmage like Ringgrim decides they don't want to be disturbed, they make sure of it. There are rumors she uses the bones of the ancient dead to guard her domain. It's definitely practical, I'll give her that. Although, I wonder if it's because she likes giving trespassers nightmares. I wouldn't blame you if you choose to run away. But, if you want to find Ringgrim, head east of here, go past the Pargunin ruins, and when you see the ice, you're there. And Yatsley, be careful. If Quilichi lost you, he'd never forgive me.
Oh, don't worry about me, Temerti. If my spells fizzle, I can always give a good lashing with my tongue.
That's what I'm afraid of. Good luck. Good. It might convince her to keep you safe, too. One last thing. Once you had a moment to settle in with Yatsley, come back and speak with me. I need your help with something.
How exciting. We're off to see an archmage. To gain access to an ancient godless ruin. You do spoil me. I've just the fragrance for such an occasion. I want to make sure I smell my best when she kills us. Meet me by the tavern when you're ready to head out. Make sure all your gear is up to snuff. We are meeting an archmage, after all.
Now I'm feeling underdressed.
Really burned down Esther's house.
Are they? Did you?
Are they dead? It had to be done.
It can make you stronger, but you never have to like it. Don't forget that.
Let's go, Namiho. We need to be with them now.
If Shatterscar is like this now, well, we should get going too.
On the dead fire lines.
Tell me way, hey, hoorah!
From a deerwood babe to a sailor fine.
Hoorah for the dead fire lines. Now dead fire roots, they make good time.
Tell me way,
Hey, hoorah! With a clear, wide strength and endless spot.
Thank you for returning. I wish I could say I didn't actually need your help, but I do. Some young idiot thirdborners decided they'd form their own militia to protect the region because of course they would. And now, predictably, they're missing. Any real soldier would know the worst crime against his brothers in arms is desertion. He should have stayed with them to the end. I'll make sure these badges are given to the surviving families.
Over here, dearie. Ah, there you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, How much do you know about Reengrim? Or you're in hers. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Aora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Andras titties, the Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. Maybe, maybe not. But Nakukubel is very old and very large. But I've no idea why an illusionist would care for godless artifacts. Yours truly excluded, of course. There must be something in there of interest to Reengrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the Godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Reengrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
I promise we'll get into the right amount of trouble.
Perfect! Oh, this is going to be fun. How many do you think have fallen over the edge in Third War? 200, 300?
Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatsli. In many ways, Quilichi has been like a second father to me. But Yatsli, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good. As long as you don't feed her after midnight. She gets gassy, temperamental, and somehow it's your fault. While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins? She's a smart one, I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. What are you so curious about? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsli gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsli taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsli protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. Pleasant dreams.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. I always ask nicely. But as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. No! Well, me, obviously, but otherwise, no. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Usually I enjoy a bit of pain, but this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go? Oh, envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. That's what happens when you're the breadbasket of the living lands. Sometimes things get stale. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. Oh, I didn't move to Fjord until I was 20. Or somewhere around there, give or take a few years. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime. Yes, why did I choose to settle down with a gorgeous scientist who loves me? What a mystery. I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Brilliant, Envoy.
You don't have to be an animancer to enjoy the pleasure of their company.
Exactly. Thank you, darling. Even with the stunning lack of animancy in my life, I marched into town and everyone fell in love with me. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course, but a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
Are you joking? He's my mentor. Not to mention 1,000 years old.
Oh, no. They're both handsome humans, of course. But Giada is like family to both Quilici and me. He taught her a lot of what he knows. She spent days in our home. Literal 26-hour days. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. Right. The city can be replaced, but not its residents. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. But Kai's hiding a lot behind that humor of his, isn't he? Thinking that that could be Quilici and me is not something I want to think about. And Marius, I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. It's not like she turned her parents into trees, and grief is a strange master. So, say one more word against her. I know where you sleep, Envoy. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, Do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Quilici and I went to Naku Tedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? How about I show you a little bit of everything? What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
Marius, what do you know about snake bites?
All there is to know. What bit you?
I don't know. It just slithered out of my bedroll.
Listen to me, this is very important. Was its head flat or round?
Hard to say. Kind of star-shaped?
Okay, after it bit you, did it hold on or let go?
It held on, and left a bruise in the shape of an eye.
You're in luck. That's an onlooker worm snake. Harmless, though legend says they're emissaries of WoW.
Wow. The god of mysteries and illusions sent me a snake?
Oh, lucky!
Be glad it wasn't a shimmering dream beast. Those are nasty.
Well, the venom won't kill you, but you'll have some interesting nightmares.
Nightmares I can deal with, but I wonder what it all means. Oh well, perhaps I'm not meant to know. Thank you, Marius. I feel a lot better.
Don't mention it.
We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk. These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Adir have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that? Unfortunately, your clumsy countrymen ruined my entire stock of ointments when they were trying to burn my house down. And I'll remember that comment. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing. Oh, of course, darling. He just enjoys the fruits of my labor more often than most, and I'd hate to disappoint. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie. Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord. No, of course not. No one is perfect, but I forgive him many vices. Like, he sleeps with his socks on.
Right. How do you suggest we keep our feet warm at night? Light little fires between our toes?
You're too sweet. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. Well, I suppose you've earned that much. and I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. I don't know. I can never move around and explore, just stand there in silent vigil. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. Just the noise. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No, just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. I suppose we should try and get some rest now. I'll have some tea ready for when we awaken later. There's my favorite Adiran. Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the living lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own findings. But how could you know that? Oh, well, you should definitely trust that. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatul or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Ah, yes, let me sum up. Yesua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. Ah, well, that one might stay in your dreams, darling. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. Almost like I've dreamt about the Akita my entire life. Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled. You sound certain. But... Oh, but the God... But... Ah, yes. Yet 10 years. From what I... The same... Well, I hope you enjoy... How... Sweet dreams, envoy.
You'd be surprised how many creatures come sniffing around here at night. Don't worry, I sleep with one eye open. What do you want to know? Not before I've done some reading.
It's nice traveling with another soldier. You'll have to tell me one of your war stories sometime. And I've got answers. Some of them may even be true. You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about? She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giada's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay. I noticed that too. It says a lot. I can't say what I'd want the future of Animancy to look like, but there's no one I'd trust more than Giada to figure it out. You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada, and Giada's a good influence on her. Couldn't have said it better myself. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. Sure. Get some rest, Envoy.
Right. What do you want to know? Right. Good talk.
Seeds of change, their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe. The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will bring the stillness and the bird song. The air was not meant for voices. The soil was not meant to carry buildings. We want all of them gone. We wish for life to flourish again. Pilchards growing on bushes, life that should not be here. Death nourishes the soil. All things come from the rot. The spider devours her mate to lay her eggs. We ponder. Dream of shifting sands now. We will speak again.
Envoy's killer has been found and allowed to go free. Guards declare no further danger.
The Adirans unleash us as soil to feed their dying homeland.
Down with Addy!
Why should we nourish them? We have our own homes, our own lives to live.
Paradise will never bow to a deer!
They will never take our home!
You're back! What have you found? Ah! Poor Wilfred. A keen eye for botany. He loved to write about the plants he found. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon.